Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Kate Kimber and Jenna Hull with the United Way. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we were just talking, last time you were here, Jenna, you were the Director of Marketing and Communications, and now you've been promoted to Executive Director. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of course, big shoes to fill, but I have no doubt you can do that, Kate. So now Kate is the what is it called? I just had it. The Director of Marketing and Communications. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
And congratulations also to a new program that you are helping to spearhead, right?
Yes, we are so excited. We have been working on this for many years. We've been trying to get Dolly Parton Imagination Library into Adams County, and we finally did it.
Yay!
So we did a soft launch. When was that?
At our campaign kickoff.
Yes,
on
at our
August 8th.
campaign kickoff in August, we did a soft launch. We already have 1,000 children signed up.
Gosh, that's incredible.
And it's amazing. So we're excited about it. You want to talk about just how it's a book a month? And
Yeah, definitely. So it is a book a month for children ages birth to 5. It is a book that is specifically picked based on their age, and there are 2 bilingual books they get each year. The first book is The Little Engine That Could, and then the last one is Off to Kindergarten. So it's a great program, and it really gets kids engaged in reading.
Yes, it's incredible. And of course, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So Dolly, who doesn't love them, a little bit of Dolly, right?
Everybody
Right.
loves Dolly.
If you don't love Dolly, check your pulse. I feel like something's wrong there.
I
But
agree.
yeah, but she of course she started this program that every child birth to 5 gets a book every month, and it's primarily funded by her. However, we were talking before that she funds part of it, of course, which is amazing, but then some of the cost falls on communities, right, which is understandable.
Yeah, so she started it in 1995 in Sevier County, Tennessee.
Okay.
And the reason for that was because her dad was illiterate. And so she started the program there, and it's grown and grown. It's in 5 countries now. It's all over the place. But what she asks is that a nonprofit 501c3 takes on the administration and the fundraising cost for the other part of it that we pay.
Sure.
And so again, United Way was so proud to do that. It aligns with our mission perfectly.
Absolutely.
And it's takes a little bit of time to get everything going, but we've got some good momentum now. We've got a grant from the Tracy Family Foundation, who is always for children.
Yes.
And
Amazing family, amazing foundation. Yeah.
And the state of Illinois is paying for part of it right now too. And so we're administering it again. We talked about a soft launch. We did a soft launch, and we thought, we might get a few, and we had 500 kids like in 2 days.
Because we were talking, books are expensive.
Yes.
And
So expensive.
so important, especially with all the talk about, literacy and how kids in at least our, local community schools are affected, and how important it is to ensure that they have the resources, to help them, right, in that department.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is not only a fantastic program, but it's fantastic that the United Way is, picking it up and running with it, because
Yes.
it does really fit with your mission.
It does.
Yeah.
And I love that, the Tracy Foundation, the Tracy Family Foundation is pitching in and helping out as well as the grants. It's one thing I can really get behind, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So so you mentioned 1,000 kids are signed up, but you also said there's over like 4,000?
There's about 4,000 kids in Adams County
Okay.
that would qualify for the program.
Okay.
So, we'd like to get, great for 100%, right?
Absolutely.
But, we at least want to get the word out there. We want everyone to understand the program and what it is. I've made phone calls this week, and Kate has, and some people think, what are you trying to sell me?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Nothing's free anymore, right?
Nothing's
yeah,
free.
Yeah.
And so I have to say, this is a free program. It's not going to cost you anything. We're not going to solicit you.
Right. You don't have to sign up for any future marketing.
You don't have to sign up for
right?
marketing.
We'll leave you alone
in
after
fact,
this.
we
Yeah.
won't send you any marketing unless it's to do with Dolly Parton. And
Yeah.
so it's, she's got a great program. She started this in 95, and she has perfected it. I mean, her system is perfect. And, when you look at the statistics, and you were saying about, the state of the reading levels of kids in Adams County right now, most kids, through this program, their MAP scores are increasing about 30% when they get to third
Wow.
grade. So, if we can get our children, as many children as we can now, get them into this program, get these books in their hands, get these parents reading to these kids, I think you're going to see literacy rates go up in Adams County, and all thanks to Dolly.
Absolutely. And
So-
it definitely can't hurt, right? So go get signed up. So how
Yes.
do people get signed up? I know you have something coming up at
Yes.
the library, but
Yes.
So we are having a kind of a full-on launch at the Quincy Public Library. Kathleen has offered to let us utilize her space, which is just wonderful.
Yes.
Fits perfectly for
I was
Dolly.
going to say, yeah, very fitting.
And so we'll have laptops there that we can sign people up. But I will tell you, I have signed up a couple of children, and it is so easy.
Okay.
You can go to our website. There's a link right on the front page.
And that's the United Way
United
website?
Way,
Okay.
adamsco.org.
Okay.
You can also go to Dolly's website and check your availability just by putting your address in, and then it will come up and you can put everything in.
Okay.
There is no limitation, so if you have 5 kids under 5, they can all sign up.
Okay.
There's no income requirement. So no matter if you make $20,000 or $200,000, your child still
qualify?
can qualify for those books. They have Braille and bilingual options.
Wow.
So lots of different things. And she's given out over 240 million books since this has started.
This is just incredible.
So
It's
yeah.
such a great program.
And I love the mission. I love the reason behind it, the why. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, it's something that, Dolly's wonderful. Of course, she has the money to do it, but I love that she's,
Yes.
spending her time and
It's
her
for her
resources.
father, and
Yeah.
you see how much she's done interviews where she talks about how this is what he's proud of, and this is his big contribution as well.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Love it. So if people want to get signed up, they can go to the United Way website. They can go to Dolly's website, but they
Yes.
can also, September 7th at the library, what time?
Yes. So from 10 a.m. until noon,
Okay.
We will have a puppet show. Chris Turner's going to do a read of The Little Engine That Could.
Oh, cool.
We'll have a snack, or I think we're going to get some ice cream. TBD on that. But
Yeah.
we'll have a little snack. We'll have a sign up. We'll have our laptops there. And then we'll also have these flyers, which just have the QR on it. So then if somebody doesn't want to sign up today and they want to take it with them, they can
Sure.
take it home and, kind of go through it and sign up that way. We've had a few duplicates. Parents signed up and they didn't realize that
Okay.
mom and dad this dad signed up or this grandma signed
Sure.
up. So we do have to check those, and it can only go to one household. So if mom and dad are living in different households, they can't both
Oh,
sign
I
their
gotcha.
child up for it.
Okay.
But other than that, there's just really no restrictions, and it's
Yeah.
super easy. And so we're going to kick it off at the library, and I hope to have lots of kids come and sign up. I know there's already been quite a few that signed up. Kathleen says a lot of their littles that come in have already
Yeah.
signed up for it, so that's really awesome.
That's excellent. And we're hoping for 100% utilization of this program, because
That'd be
why
nice.
not? It
Why
would be
not?
amazing. And, the grants and the United Way and the help of the Tracy family, there is no limit to, how many kids in
Yeah.
Adams County can sign up, right?
Yes, we're not going to limit. We're gonna find the money,
Yeah.
one way or another. So we have a grant from the Tracy family. The state of Illinois is paying for half. If donors want to, reach out, if
Sure.
we've got companies that haven't, supported us before, and you want to support the Dolly Parton Library, we can still do that, because it's going to be ongoing.
Yeah.
We're not going to, after 2 years, we're not going to say, oh, we're done.
Yeah.
So we'll ongoing need funding and be looking to make sure that this program stays strong in Adams
Love
County.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. So, yeah, if you're interested in donating, to help with the program, or you're interested in getting signed up, get a hold of Jenna or Kate.
Yep.
Go to the library, get signed up, and they'll help you. Incredible program. Get a book for your child, birth to 5, every month. I think it's just an amazing program, and I'm
So
really,
neat.
really excited that
We
you girls
are
are
too.
doing
We're
it,
so
and
excited.
really excited that you are both in these amazing positions, because
Oh,
I
thank
just
you.
think you're going to thrive, and everybody's really lucky to have you in Adams County.
Thank you.
We joke about it because we do have a staff of all women right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. We haven't always had that, but we joke about it because we have so many different decades.
Yeah.
We have a 20-something, 30-something, 40-something, 50-something, 60-something.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely an interesting dynamic, but we're really excited. We're fully staffed and
Good to
ready
go.
to go and ready to
Yeah.
get this going and kick
Love
off.
it.
So,
yeah. And you got to love the balance, right? I think it's really important as well.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
excellent. Well, thank you, ladies, so much.
thank
Good
you.
luck.
Thanks for having
and
us.
yeah, here's to a giant turnout Saturday, right?
Yes,
All right.
yes,
Good
that'd
luck.
be
I'm
great.
looking forward to chatting with you again to see how it goes.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
will. Have us
Excellent.
back.
Absolutely. All right, coming up, I sit down with Kate Daniels, chairperson for the Adams County, Illinois Democratic Party. Stay tuned.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Kelly's has been a fun place to eat and drink in Quincy since 1982. A fun and friendly atmosphere, food with flavor, homemade cinnamon rolls, and famous cheese soup, the best menu in town. Kelly's, 2902 Broadway, Quincy.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
And welcome back. Joining me now, Kate Daniels with the Adams County, Illinois Democratic Party. How are you?
I'm great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I mentioned that you are a chairperson. Is that correct? Is that the correct title?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as chairperson, you recently got, you had the privilege of attending the DNC, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So a lot of people know what the DNC or the Democratic National Convention is, but some may not. And even if I know what it is, I don't really know what all it entails. So really curious to hear about your experience and what was all in store for you there.
It was so thrilling. I mean, I was so excited just to go in the first place.
Right.
So the Democratic National Convention is not just what we see on TV from 5 until whatever, where they went late sometimes.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that. There were all kinds of other things happening. There was a whole expo. There were like breakfasts where you got, well, that's where we learned whether or not we got our credentials to get in that night. And then there were a lot of other events. So there were speeches, but then there were also trainings and other things like that. So I was exhausted.
Oh, I bet.
To get a lot done. And there were parties afterwards. So post-gavel parties, which were like, those were a lot of fun.
I'm sure.
Just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, it's basically a convention where you go and you learn and you celebrate and kind of have a sense of community, right?
Yeah,
around
exactly,
the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So, Kamala and Tim Walz, right, are officially now the Democratic candidate for president and vice president of the United States of America. So, silly question maybe, were they there?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They were.
Okay. Did they give speeches?
Oh, yes, they did.
Well, okay.
More than just what you saw at the conventions. So they also were doing, before they came to Chicago, they were in Pennsylvania doing a bus tour. So then when they were done with their bus tour, I don't know exactly, I'm sure he must have come on Wednesday, because he spoke that night. So at least he came Wednesday morning, he was at the Illinois delegation breakfast. So, yeah. So
they were there.
They were there.
Yeah. So
his wife was there. Cool. See, I was born and raised in Minnesota, so I just love that.
Yes. Now he is currently the governor. Is that?
Yes, that's
okay?
correct. Yes.
So did they talk about policy or did you learn or have any like seminars on what their policies are or how to support, or what did it look like when you went into, kind of what I would consider roundtables or seminars?
Well, part of that, I'm not only the Adams County Democratic Chair, I'm also the State Central Committee woman for Illinois 15.
Okay.
So Illinois 15 is our congressional district, and it goes from Quad Cities down to St. Louis, and it goes from the Mississippi River over to Indiana. We have 36 counties. It's huge.
Okay.
And it's based on population.
All under 15?
All under Illinois 15.
15, okay.
Yeah, it's massive.
It is massive,
So
yeah.
I was elected as State Central Committee woman to the Democratic Committee of Illinois.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I was able to get credentials and get in.
Gotcha.
And I did get in the first night on Monday. And some of it was lottery about, how you could get in if you showed up and you were able to, you
Oh,
were
really?
connected to the, I don't think it was just open to the public.
Okay,
Quite
that was going to be
frankly,
one of my questions.
Yeah, I don't really know all because this is my first convention.
Sure.
But my understanding is, there were the delegates obviously got in, and they were the ones on the floor. But then there were like 2 tiers of people that were there that were, either volunteers or, like people like myself that were connected to the party
Sure.
from certain states and from all
Media.
the states, media.
Yeah.
Well, they had their own special places.
Ah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yes,
we
they did.
deserve it.
And Nora Baldner was there.
Yes,
and she
love
did,
Nora.
Yeah, she did a great job.
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. She
So-
says it was exhausting. It was a lot of work.
I have no doubt.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot of work to cover all of that, but then also you don't want to miss anything because I can imagine, just the excitement being around, like-minded
Yeah.
people who are excited about, what's to come and getting amped up for,
Yeah. It was it was everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, people I was carrying things when I was going back to my hotel. You get your little signs. You're
Yeah.
carrying, and people were like, "How was it? Was
Yeah.
it great?"
Yeah.
And it was really, the air was just electric,
Yeah.
and people were so excited. But to answer your question about the policy stuff,
Yeah. Sorry.
that's okay.
I
I
got
just
sidetracked.
I sidetracked you, but
No,
I did
you
want to
got it.
answer. I did want to circle back
Sure.
and answer that question. So the McCormick Center had a whole bunch of things, but I was not a delegate, so I wasn't allowed to go in.
Gotcha.
So I did go to the Expo Center, and I was really disappointed that I did that the last day instead of spending more time. Because
Okay.
there were short little things about, how to run a county party, what are the things that you should be doing, how can you reach out to volunteers and, do other things like that. Some of that stuff I've already had training on.
Right.
But it's always good to see people who say, that are in similar situations, and they say, well, this worked for me.
Right.
It might work for you, it might not, but you just try different things and you figure it out because it's
Gotcha.
politics,
Right,
You
yeah.
just got to talk to people and reach out. And,
Right.
yeah.
It's always interesting.
Yeah,
Never a dull moment for sure.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad you got to go. It's very, it's a very cool experience, I'm sure. I mean, I was talking to Mekki, she went to the RNC, and regardless of what side, you're on, when you're kind of immersed in those
Yes.
policies and in that world, it's just really cool to get to see,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and it was in Chicago. I wanted to mention that because
Yeah.
you mentioned the McCormick Center. People, I
Yes.
don't know that we mentioned Chicago, but it was in Chicago.
Yep.
And Tim Waltz, candidate for vice president. Now, so what are your thoughts on on Kamala and Tim? You mentioned that you like Tim. How do you feel about Kamala?
Oh,
know
I love
there's-
her.
Do you?
I love her. So, really, initially, it was like, okay, President Biden was the president,
Right.
right? She was the vice president. And I felt the same way about President Biden when he was the vice president for Barack Obama.
Okay.
Because it was like, you don't really know, what are they doing, what's going on, because they're not ahead. And I think if you're the vice president and you're overshadowing your president, you ain't doing your job.
Right, right.
You're kind of overtaking, you need to be, you're kind of in the background,
Right.
right? So I was a little bit concerned because I didn't know that much about her.
Right.
But when she came out and she has hit everything, boom, 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 she's put her stamp on this campaign. She's doing things massively different. And it really is bringing in people, like really focusing on the joy.
Yeah.
And focusing on the fact that we have a great country.
Yeah.
We have a great country. And many of the stories and this has been for me as well, I personally take this, that, our country enables people to move forward. Not always, right? We need to help sometimes. We need to break down some systems. And, we need to sometimes give people a basic level, but let's hand people up and let's help them do what they want to in their lives. You know, we had 5 kids in my family. We were on Social Security disability, and I became an attorney. My brother is a scientist at the University of Minnesota doing neurobiology. My sister is a TSA agent, So, with 5 people in your family, 5 kids living in basically a 3-bedroom house, we did not have a lot of money.
Sometimes you need some help.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need some help.
Yeah.
And we got that. Social Security was a huge thing
Yeah.
to help us because my father had hemophilia. So that it's a very complicated thing.
Right. No, we don't have to go into that, but I do understand, some of the policies. Of course, people have, thoughts and opinions on everything.
Sure.
But I do think overall, I don't want to get into all the policies and whatnot because that's
Yeah.
not really why we're here. I just wanted to talk to you about your experience with the DNC, your thoughts on the upcoming election. Obviously, you have faith in your party and the candidates. What are your feelings for the tone in Quincy? How do you feel about the Democratic Party? Is it leaning more Democratic? Is it leaning more Republican? Is it too early to tell? Do you know? How do you gauge some of that?
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell.
Okay.
But let me tell you my experience. So I had a Harris Walls button on last night, and because I was working at headquarters down on State and 8th.
Okay.
So I had my button on, and I had to go to Menards to get, I forgot what, I had to get a couple of things, grout cleaner, all this,
The important stuff.
I had life, So I went to Menards, and as I'm coming to the checkout, the young woman looks at me and she goes, "I love your button."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she was basically like, I saw Tim Walz singing the, Save Big Money jingle, and she goes, "Then it's just a sign because I'll have to vote for them."
Right.
And then she said, "No, I'm just kidding. I was going to vote for him anyway."
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then
Yeah.
I hopped over to Sam's Club. Same thing happened. The customer service representative to me says, "Love your button." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she said, "Well, I can't really wear mine here, but I might,
Sure.
well,
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Sometimes, politics are a little sketch when it gets into the corporations and work and
No,
blah, blah,
business.
blah.
Business is business. You're
Right.
not there to do your personal
Right.
opinions. You're there to do your job.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of job, it is your job to help, communicate the policy and the message for the Democratic Party. How do you do that?
Oh, well.
Super easy question. Come on, Kate. I know.
Yeah, whatever. Well, right now what we have done, like you said, basically the DNC and the RNC, when we have our conventions, that's basically talking to the choir, right? So everybody here is excited, but now the message that we got is, let's take this message out to the people,
Sure.
right? Let's spread the word. Mostly what we've ended up doing, because, we don't have a ton of money, but what we end up doing is we do things by Facebook. We're doing by door to door. I send out emails. I have, my precinct committee people go out and talk to people in their neighborhood.
Sure.
And that's kind of how we get things out.
Yeah.
It's basically just word of mouth, talking to people. I mean, I know we're not going to talk policy, but I did bring, just in
brought
case
it
you
all.
wanted to
Yeah,
get into it.
yeah.
What are like 4 years of accomplishments for Joe
Right.
Biden, and I only have 1 year for the state of Illinois, but there's more than that.
Right,
so
right.
just recent stuff. So yeah, I mean, we just keep talking. When people ask, I'm not necessarily going to push it on people, but if people say, well, what has he even done?
Yeah.
And I'll say, well, okay, let's talk. And I have a few things that are important to me, but like I said, there's like 9-10 pages of one-liners of this, this, and this.
Sure.
So there was things like the infrastructure bill, which was massive. It was bipartisan, just kind of barely, but it did a lot of things. And I've got a map that shows in Illinois, state of Illinois, every single county, how much money they got, how many projects. And those projects were super important because we had a deteriorating infrastructure. And for years and years and years, we had, for at least 4 years of the prior guy never came up with anything. Never, ever. This is infrastructure week, but nothing came forward. So that got done. that got done. And I think that that was really important.
Yeah.
And it really helped like secure bridges, because when I-35 bridge fell in Minnesota, that was devastating.
Yeah.
And then the repair that was done in Maryland after that boat ran into the boat. I mean, that boat ran into the bridge. I believe that they already have traffic going through there.
Yeah.
And so they did, that's quite a turnaround
Right.
to get that done. So when we work together for a common good, we can do things. We can really get things done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and probably that was the overall message at the DNC, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, of course, again, everybody has their side, everybody has their opinions.
Right.
But I think if you are following your passion and getting that word out to people and educating people, yeah, that's
Right. And curious about what
supposed to do.
I'm also curious about what other people think.
Sure.
So I talked to Frankie Say a while back.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I still think about some of the stuff that we talked about,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, yeah, it's very important to have these conversations
Yeah.
when they don't get, you know, dragged into name calling and silliness. And it's just like, you know, I love to talk policy.
Yeah. I actually do too. So it would be interesting to have, I'd love to have a roundtable discussion of everybody coming to the table. I like to think of myself as a moderator because I am pretty much down the middle. Ooh, one more question before
Yes.
we go. So sorry, I got really excited there. RFK Jr. Has now endorsed Trump. Thoughts on that? Because he was prior Democrat.
My
Any
mom
thoughts
said
on-
not to say anything if you can't say something
Okay,
nice.
all right. Well, we'll leave it at that. No, I was just curious on your take because I think that's a lot of things have changed recently. Like you said, the DNC this year was different for numerous reasons, and I would imagine that that the news of that probably shook things up too. So I just wanted your take, but I get what you're saying.
I don't
so-
think it's much of a loss for Democrats.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Kate, thank you so much. If people
You
want
bet.
to learn more about the Democratic Party or how they can get involved with, the local chapter of it, how would they go about doing that?
Well, you can always. Okay, should I get out my phone or not?
No, I wouldn't do that. But if they want to visit the headquarters,
The
maybe you can give
headquarters
that out. Okay.
at 735 State Street, and then we also have a web page. I don't remember the whole thing, but if you look up Adams County Democratic Party, Illinois, you'll be taken to our website. We also have a Facebook page, both private and public, and you're welcome to join, and we'd be very happy to have anybody join us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. It was
Thank you.
wonderful meeting you and
Thanks.
speaking with you. And yeah, I'll look forward to maybe getting down to some policies and having some discussions. I always think it's so
Anytime.
interesting.
Anytime.
Kate, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping
Thank
in.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I think that does it for today's Daily. We'll catch you back here tomorrow for more.